What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back to another video, and today the Ravens have traded Orlando Brown for the 31st overall pick, along with a plethora of other picks. But given the fact that we have a special collab happening tonight that you guys will see tomorrow, I am not going to be doing a two-round mock on this. So you guys will see the full effects of this trade in that 2021 final NFL mock draft, most likely coming Monday to you. So I hope you guys do enjoy. This should be fun. The next like what 6 days should be absolutely a blast. So I hope you guys do enjoy, and let's kick into it. So starting off with the first overall pick, we're gonna just save some time here, guys. Again, Trevor Lawrence is that dude. He's going to be the number one overall pick. There's gonna be no surprises there. Trevor Lawrence is that guy. My only concern is that sometimes he gets a little too overconfident with his arm and forces some balls, and he is a little bit thin. But I mean, you're nitpicking. You're nitpicking there, and that's just people trying to find something to not like about Trevor. He is just that dude. So number two, the Jets. Again, you guys have heard me talk about this time and time and time again. If Zach Wilson were going to most likely be at 3, then the Eagles would have traded up. That's what they said. It's like if we thought Zach Wilson was at 3, they would have traded up. So that kind of means that Zach Wilson won't be there at 3. Hence, he's there at 2. Zach Wilson to the Jets, taking on Sam Darnold's role on a much better Jets team than Sam Darnold ever had. Even though I'm a Sam Darnold not fan, we'll put it that way. I think Zach Wilson's much better than Sam Darnold ever was. Never been high on Sam Darnold, so I guess I can toot my horn to that. And number 3, we got the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm very happy Mac Jones is, excuse me for that. Mac Jones is down here at number 10 because he is not even close to the potential of these two men right here. And you guys have heard me talk about this time and time again. I always say, if Shanahan can do well with any quarterback, you make sure he drafts the one with the highest ceiling, right? If he's able to make any quarterback work, why not just get the one that could be the best? Because if he makes it work, then most likely he'll let that guy reach that potential. And they don't have to start this year. To me, we saw what Justin Fields could be in that Clemson game. Strong, tough, even battling through injury, and always staying in the game. And when he has a drive to do something, like we saw they had the score of the Ohio State Clemson game last year, if he has that score just stuck in his head, he can do anything. And the fact that you saw him just go through pretty much like almost like a fractured rib to end up actually playing the full game and win it in the style that he did, that's special. That to me is why Justin Fields deserves to be this pick. Again, Trey Lance actually has like 44% accurate pass percentage, which is the lowest, and he's playing against like Youngstown State. So I'm not gonna lie, I am lower on Trey Lance than some people. He's still going to be a top 20-ish prospect for me in the draft. But again, I just think that these 3 are definitely the top 3 in my mind. There's zero doubt about it. And then Trey Lance is that 4th guy, 100%. And then Mac Jones is that 5th guy. Mac Jones will have a good career. It's just you don't take a guy to have a good career at the top 3. You take a guy to have a transcendent career, a great career, a franchise-worthy career. So number 4, the Falcons. We're going to be seeing a lot of these picks happen in 3 days when I release my other mock, but I think this one's going to be Kyle Pitts. I genuinely think that it could be. We could see a trade up right here, but again, I heard that the asking price is just too much. We could see Denver try to move up right here, 100% valid, but it's a tough one. It's a tough one to gauge right here because it's like, do they take Kyle Pitts, who's generational, right? I mean, they traded away most of their draft to go up to get Julio Jones, like an insane amount of the capital. And I mean, the Falcons did, and it was worth it. They got a generational player. So I don't think anybody faults Atlanta for doing that. So I don't know why Atlanta would not just stay in the same spot and then get a generational player again. Kyle Pitts is just on another level. We see that Hayden Hurst has a really good time in this offense. And if Hayden Hurst can do it, Kyle Pitts can definitely do it. So I love it. I honestly think this is a perfect pick. You don't pass up on generational talents. We didn't really have too many of them last year. I'm going to be honest, like Andrew Thomas wasn't regarded as generational. It's just a generational tackle class that was really good all around, and guys who were very high level. You can think about Chase Young. He was a generational talent, right? You don't pass up on that. Joe Burrow was a generational style quarterback. You don't pass up on that. So You don't pass up on generational style guys. At this pick, I have a weird feeling it's gonna be Jamar Chase. I really hope it's not. No offense to Jamar, I still have him as like a top 6 guy in the draft. It's just I know how important tackle, guard, the entire offensive line is. You see how even Carson Wentz deals with a good line versus a shit line. It's like night and day. So if Joe Burrow really is your guy for the future, as much as it's cute to bring him and Jamar Chase back together, dude, I'm not gonna lie, just trade up and maybe get Terrace Marshall in the late first, early second, or you can even stay at your spot and get him and get Penny Sewell. Like you can put Penny Sewell at right tackle. He's raw enough, so you can do that. But he can actually start at guard this year, which is a huge hole, and then move to right tackle under the apprenticeship of Riley Reef. So I love that. It fits two needs right now because you're going to have your future at tackle and your current situation at guard. His movement skills are unbelievable. His play strength, unbelievable. It's like I only saw Quentin Nelson have almost the dominance. Quentin Nelson and Tevin Jenkins have about that dominance on that field that Penny Sewell did. And I just absolutely love it. I'm sorry. I mean, it might just be Jamar Chase at this spot, but I can't be down with that. At this spot, I could legit see the Dolphins trading back to 9 and just the Broncos moving up to select Trey Lance. But I can't feel like they traded back and then traded back up again in order to trade back again. That just doesn't feel right to me. Obviously, I assume that they were trying to get one of these two generational prospects, but I don't think they'll ever deny getting a stud in Jamar Chase. And Jalen Waddle's a great guy, too. You could trade back to 9 and end up selecting Jalen Waddle and then be perfectly fine, right? You could let the Lions get Jamar Chase. You get maybe a potential another first round pick in exchange for like maybe a next year third, and then you're great, right? But I think that if you're here, you get a guy who you know will be your number one. Devontae Parker has been taking progressional steps. We haven't even been sure he's a number one wide receiver for a while. Preston Williams, you guys correct me, he was undrafted. Hasn't taken that leap either. And then Lynn Bowden in the slot / running back. You know, obviously Jalen Waddle will be an excellent addition, but I'm not going to sell it for Tua Tagovailoa. I'm going Jamar Chase here. That's my thing. That's the way it's going to go. That's the way I like it. And to be honest, under the situation that Atlanta doesn't trade, these three guys will go in these 3 picks. That's my honest opinion. They're all going to go right here. And interestingly enough, I do not want to trade back with the Lions because you know a team that just lost their slot wide receiver? Right here, number 8 at the Panthers. They just lost Curtis Samuel, a big impact player on their roster right there. I don't think that they can move back anymore. People will say like, oh, they can move back and still select Jalen Waddle because Rashawn Slater's there. Guys, I'll talk about it in a second, but I'm selecting Jalen Waddle here. I don't think you can pass up on a guy who could be a generational style slot wide receiver. If you want to talk about like Julian Edelman having excellent impact, it's like you can have exponentially more with Jalen Waddle. It's like he could be the best slot wide receiver in history. That's a straight up fact. I love how he plays. Great character. Something you need in a brand new organization that just needs good guys in that locker room. There's enough things going wrong in Detroit. Don't let it be your first round pick. Like get Jalen Waddle. You know he's going to be a stud. The Dolphins would be looking for him. I think that they have to stay at that spot. They could get a shit ton of picks and draft and trade back, but they just did get 2 first round picks in the future for and also they got a former Super Bowl playing quarterback in exchange for Matt Stafford, right? So I don't think you need that many picks. When you have a guy like Jalen Waddle here, you don't see that every year. You could look at a guy like Chris Olave, Pickens next year as well. Like those guys who can make a big impact, but they're not going to be these slot wide receivers that are just game changing. There's something special about Jalen Waddle in the slot. You don't pass up on that. And number 8, this is a spot I can see a trade back. I'm going to be honest. They were talking about Matt Rule said he's open to trading back. We have questions whether Rashawn Slater can actually play tackle, right? He has the good enough length, right? I think he's like somewhere in like the 13th percentile, which is pretty much every tackle in this draft for some reason. And the problem with that is if we already had questions about his gameplay, who cares about the measurements if you don't play at length? He wasn't playing with good enough length to be considered a legit tackle by Mel Kiper. And Mel Kiper is not Jesus. He is not Nostradamus, but I thoroughly believe exactly what he says. There's certain tackles in this draft who should not play tackle. When I saw Rashawn Slater, he could definitely do that. But I think he fits better as a guard that could turn into a tackle as soon as he starts developing length. This is a team that probably wants an impact day one to see what they got in Sam Darnold. This is a perfect spot to trade back, in my opinion. And they could do it for one spot right here. There's teams trying to trade up like the Patriots and then the Broncos. So let's weigh both options here. They trade back with the Broncos. Then they can select anybody they want. I mean, I would still look at Micah Parsons for them, right? But we could also look at trading back with the Patriots. So let's assume that. Will Micah Parsons go somewhere in here? He could go right here at number 11. He could definitely go there, but I don't think he will, given the fact that I got Rashawn Slater still on the board. I don't think he goes anywhere in those picks. I'm going to be honest. And it's a good way to acquire more draft capital for a team that is pretty young. And if we have to, we can move back up. I don't think that we're going to, though. We're moving. We're moving back with the Patriots. I think that that's the right move at this point. And I mean, I'm trying to think like what the Broncos would do. They could go Mac Jones at that spot, but we're going to be moving up with the Patriots. That's the bottom line. I've never done this before. I've never moved up with the Patriots with the Panthers, but of course the Panthers never had they never had their actual solution at quarterback in Sam Darnold. So we're going to be offering they're probably going to want, because they trade away their next year two, they might want to get their next year two in return. So this is gonna be an interesting one. We're gonna try to see if we could flop these picks, just because let's see. I want to see how this rolls, because I don't want to overvalue this pick. But a 1-1-2 for a 1-3, if we can do a 3-3, that'd be good. We're gonna do a 1-2 for a 1-4-3, because that allows the Patriots to have enough draft capital to be able to go into next year. And with how few picks that the Panthers have, they're going to be actually adding a pick total in here. So I think that's a good fair trade. And the Patriots are all in right now. They're ready to win. And that could mean that Mac Jones is their dude. But Trey Lance fits exactly what they're looking for. It's basically a higher a higher ceiling Cam Newton. So I think that's totally worth the trade. You see the 49ers give up 3 first-round picks. Like the Patriots only gave up really 1 first and then a second. And they got back one of their first, of course. So they got back a third as well, or like or this year 4. So it's a pretty good deal for them. And then also next year third. Shoot, that was a good deal for the Patriots. They got their quarterback of the future. Now the Broncos are sitting here. I'd look at Mac Jones, but Micah Parsons is too good. You know me, Vic Fangio, Micah Parsons, write it in immediately. I know you guys love this pick as well. Unfortunately, it screws the Panthers over of a Micah Parsons, but that's okay. I didn't even think Micah Parsons was the right move for the Panthers. I thought maybe we could take him, but it wasn't the right move for me at the time. And I think that there's probably want to get some more value, because the defense is actually looking pretty good, because it's very raw for the Panthers. So we'll see what we do at that time. But the Cowboys are on the board, and I would like to go JC Horn here, but I am going to go Patrick Surtain again. I think he can play at those numbers. I'm praying he can. He tested very well. Let's see if he can play at those numbers. He is excellent form-wise as a corner. JC Horn and him are up there. JC Horn doesn't get torched. People say it's because he holds. Every cornerback holds. If you aren't holding and you get torched, then actually pull in the fucking jersey, dude. Like, I'd rather you give up a 20-yard flag than a 50-yard touchdown, right? But I think Patrick Surtain is excellent. He has everything you need. He's young as well. He's played, I believe he started every single year at Alabama, and that's pretty damn rare with how good the talent is there. Patrick Surtain, instant scheme fit, rock him in. So, big fan of that. Number 11, we got the Giants on the board, and I'm running to the podium with this. You got to fill that right guard spot now. Rashawn Slater, 100%. I think that's the pick. We could even see Rashawn Slater being at 8, but I really just don't think he's an actual tackle. If you use him as a guard, he could be up there with the greats if he actually fully develops. Like, imagine that offensive line if you get an actual competent center. Like, you have Andrew Thomas, you have Will Hernandez, who needs to get his head and ass wired together, a competent center, Rashawn Slater, and then like Matt Peart. It's a pretty good line, man. That's a pretty damn good line. Number 12, we got the Eagles sitting here, and I mean, this is where I think you just got, if JC Horn's on the board, I think you got to pull the trigger. If we're gonna be honest, I think you just got to pull that trigger. You know, not gonna go after a Mac Jones. Devontae Smith could definitely be the guy here, but I think you want to solidify that secondary. JC Horn is just a little too good of value to pass up. Again, Devontae Smith is so good though. But this Eagles, you see how the Eagles always get injured every year. Do I want to send a 166 plays at 160 pound Devontae Smith To a team that can never stay healthy? No. I'd rather go to a team that somehow knows how to keep their players in shape and healthy. I'm going to go JC Horn here and just pray he has a really good career because I know he definitely could be. And he's a baller, dude. I like JC Horn a lot. 13 Chargers. You know where I'm rocking with this. I don't care that his hands are as big as mine. It doesn't matter. Christian Darsaw plays at a very, very good length, has good enough hand control. I think that he can be a high-end talent at the next level. And that's something you're willing to take a shot on at 13. He could be a real franchise left tackle. So at number 14, the Vikings are on the board, and this is a little bit of a sticky situation. There's like Devontae Smith on the board, Caleb Farley. I mean, where do you rock? We could definitely go Caleb Farley here to learn under Patrick Peterson. It's a sneaky move, but I honestly might want to move back here. Again, you guys are going to be like losing your mind if we add another fourth round pick or something. We're not going to do that. We're going to look for next year picks because we have a lot this year, but we're going to be targeting Kwity Paye soon. So I'm going to try to see if there's a team wanting to move up. And Mac Jones is on the board, but I don't feel comfortable moving back here because I think that the Dolphins could definitely try to target Kwity Paye. I know exactly where I'd target with Kwity Paye. I might just have to say, fuck it, we're going to do a pick right here. And I think we are. We're just going to do it. We're going to Kwity Paye. You're potentially losing Danielle Hunter, and your defense had like 23 sacks last year, one of the worst, also one of the worst run defenses. I think Kwity Paye is a top 15, top 12 player in this class. I love him. I love his potential. He is so good. And those flashes are unbelievable. He's so much better than Rashawn Gary. Anybody who says he could be like Rashawn Gary doesn't watch Kwity Paye, because I watched every snap that he's played. Holy crap, he's good. I love him. I love it so much. So at this spot, this is a spot where, honestly, I'm actually falling in love with this pick. We traded back, got an extra first, and yeah, we don't need a day one impact, right? We got AJ Boye. If Caleb Farley, he had a minute back surgery and kicked him all the way down the board. But if he's able to stay healthy and he learns from AJ Boye, can you imagine how good Caleb Farley on the squad could be? I'm just saying, I absolutely love it, and it's worth taking a shot on. Caleb Farley at 15, also stealing him from the Cards here, who now they're screwed. So they're sitting here and they're like, well, we kind of needed a cornerback, but there's still Mac Jones on the board. In a desperate ass team like the Bears, Washington's not desperate though. I don't think that they'd be willing to move up. They stood in place and got they got, I'm bugging his name, Dwayne Haskins a while ago. They didn't move. But the Bears, they could be aggressive. And the Bears they're going to do that. So it's a very minute trade up, right? It's only a couple spots. But it's going to be good enough to where I think that the Bears can sacrifice that third round pick and maybe ask for a next year in return. Well, that's quite surprising. I think that we could ask for a fifth this year, maybe a sixth. That's pretty fair. You're giving up a next year or this year one. Is it this year one and this year three to move up that many spots? To be fair, you're gonna pay that price for a quarterback. So the Cardinals are willing to accept that. They're getting their third rounder back, which is quite nice. And we're selecting Mac Jones here. Again, somebody with a very high floor. He's definitely somebody who, again, you throw to wide open targets. I don't really understand why people are like jaw dropped at the fact that he is that great. Again, Devontae Smith's on the board too. We can see a team try to move up for him, but there's always a chance that he just continues to fall due to his weight, which again, that is a legit factor. People try to write that off. It's just, some people just, it's very irritating sometimes. I honestly could see a move up here though. I'm not gonna lie. I could see the Cardinals trying to move back up, doing like a three-way trade here, because we've seen that multiple times. The Cards could use a boundary wide receiver. AJ Green's there, but you have DeAndre Hopkins, you got Christian Kirk, you got nothing else. Devontae Smith might be too good to pass up on. We're gonna move back up with the Cardinals. It's a weird trade. So we're going to be moving back up, and we are going to be offering a next year pick because again, we kind of want to win this year. So we're gonna offer a next year 4 and then our this year 5, and then we're gonna ask for their next year 6 or some bullshit. We're just gonna add a couple little picks because we're gonna get the same player for the freaking for the Raiders anyways, and we're gonna get Devontae Smith here. Again, we need to get a corner desperately. That's why we have that extra third round pick as well to be able to take somebody. But Devontae Smith is too good to pass up on, and he fits exactly what a Kyler Murray, Cliff Kingsbury type of connection would want. So don't be surprised if he falls this far. Again, winning a Heisman doesn't give you some type of Madden superstar rating. Like it's not going to happen. So just chill on that, right? Devontae Smith is definitely one of the best talents in the class, but you have to think about his weight. He plays at 160 pounds at 6'/6'1". That's legit scary. I don't really know too many players that play anywhere close to that. Marvin Harrison was like 172 when he came in, and it's like, I'm sorry, but you name any wide receiver that actually stayed healthy, like a Deshaun Jackson can't even stay healthy, and he was heavier. And then you could also mention Will Fuller, can't even stay healthy, can't stay on the field. Speaking of Will Fuller, we got the Dolphins here. And this could be an interesting spot to trade back because it's like, ooh, we could just select Zaven Collins here and just eat people alive, which is honestly something I'm definitely thinking about doing because I love me some Zaven Collins, man. I absolutely love it. Looking at other guys, again, there's Greg Newsome here. So, like, I was thinking about maybe for a team like the Cards selecting Greg Newsome, but again, Devontae Smith's on the board. You take best player available. You don't take your best need. That's not the case. That's not how the NFL works either. We're gonna go with Zaven Collins here. Again, Jalen Phillips is an intriguing target, but you already know my thoughts on it. Zaven Collins with in that scheme, that'd be interesting, right? He has excellent coverage. Excellent. The best in the class. I think that it's better than any other linebacker in the class, hands down. And for positional value, he probably has the most supremacy at the coverage, in the coverage rating at any position. So like I don't think that Patrick Surtain is as good in coverage relative to all the other players in his position that Zaven Collins is compared to those linebackers. If you guys get that. At number 20, Washington, you guys already know where I'm rocking. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah it's a lock pick, man. You know, he is an excellent linebacker. He'll be that other outside linebacker that'll be perfect. You can use him in the slot if you want to. You can technically replace Landon Collins with him. I love the versatility. It just depends on what you want to do later in the draft. He weighed over 220 pounds. He could be a legit linebacker. I love his coverage ability as well. And again, you have Cole Holcomb there. Bugging. I think you have John Bostic there as well. You have some okay ass linebackers. They can definitely pull their own weight. So I definitely like it. Number 20, Raiders. Tevin Jenkins. You solidify the right tackle spot and you trade back and you get a beast. There's no doubt in my mind that that's the right pick. And 21, we got the Colts. And this is a spot where I still might select a tackle, dude. One of you guys said is Levi. Levi Lewis said that the Colts have never selected a day 1 or 2, if I'm not mistaken, lineman that has under a 9 RAS score. Samuel Cosmi has a 9.99. That is number 3 all time behind Taylor Lewan, speaking of the team next, and wait for it, Spencer Brown at a 10. So I'm going to be going with Sam Cosmi here. I don't think people are really valuing this idea at all. Like Levi made me just fall in love with this pick more. Athletic, super high floor. He can do everything well. I just absolutely love it. I just don't get why people are not mocking. I know the defensive ends are garbo, but we can trade up with that later on. I don't think that we can pass up on him with teams like the Jets, who could be using a guy like Samuel Cosmi if they want to move him to right tackle. Even the Titans, they could use a tackle. There we go. Another team that could use him. Another team that can now use him. So I think that Sam Cosmi, it's the definite need. You need to pull that trigger. At number 22, we got the Titans on the board, and I think you got it. It's Rashad Bateman or Elijah Moore, dude. And I love both these picks so much. It hurts me to have to choose between these two and select one, right? I could trade back and just get rid of Rashad Bateman. I mean, bold prediction, guys. I honestly think that I'm just making sure it's fully updated. I honestly think Elijah Moore will go before Rashad Bateman. That's my take. I think Elijah Moore will go before Rashad Bateman because Rashad Bateman, he has. I mean, obviously we thought he was like 6'3", 210 or something, right? You know, Elijah Moore might be the right pick here. You know, you have Corey Davis that's gone. That hurts a lot. But we could look at a guy like De'Ami Brown to replace that in the next round. That is something that's a legit option. So if we are going to be honest, damn, because we could trade back a little bit as well and just let a team take Rashad Bateman. And then we have the capital to move up for a Terrace Marshall, right? So You guys will be seeing this next week. So obviously, if we do that, if we trade, I mean, we can even trade with the Ravens right now because now they have a shit ton of draft capital. But I mean, now they have they have the flexibility to do that. But this is a toughie. This is a toughie because I might want to trade back with a team that wants Rashad Bateman. Funnily enough, right? And then select Elijah Moore next. It's so this is an interesting spot now. Ever since we have we had the Bears moving up from Mac Jones, right? So there are guys like Greg Newsome on the board. We could try to do like a one pick trade right here. We could even trade with the Browns for that. It's a tough one, man. Do we even trade? Oh, because I don't think Elijah Moore would fit the Ravens. Do we trade with the Saints to come up and get Rashad Bateman? I'm not going to do the damn Packers again. I know you guys love that, but again, the Packers have so many little needs that they can do that Rashad Bateman might not be the right answer. I'd see like maybe a quick jump up to 26 for him, but I can't see all the way up to 22. That's too big of a jump for me. Shoot, because I really just want to pull that trigger on Elijah Moore on this team, because I think that honestly that's the best fit. And I very well I'm probably going to be trading with the team right in here and being like, guys, who wants Rashad Bateman? Because we're going to be selecting Elijah Moore. I think, dude, the Saints definitely need a wide receiver too. They even lost Emmanuel Sanders for Christ's sakes, right? So we're going to be trading with the Saints. That's it. We're trading with the Saints. They're going to be moving up, and they're going to be selecting your boy Rashad Bateman. I want to have some fun trades in here, guys. That's the best part. Again, I'm like trying to see. Wow, they actually have some good draft capital here. Yeah. I might be doing this. Might be selecting the 2 in exchange for one of the 3s, because again, this could be a quarterback pick right here as well. We can see if we can fleece the Titans a little bit. So we're offering that 1 and 2, and we're getting that 3. It's similar to what honestly happened with the Ravens, trading their like 1 and then got like a 2 and a 3 or something in return. But at this spot, this has to be. I mean, we could go Greg Newsome here 100%, but I'm going to go Rashad Bateman again. I think there's some good man corners down the line, and you need to solidify that wide receiver core. I mean, if Jameis Winston's going to succeed, you gotta see if he's going to succeed. So Rashad Bateman, good pick right there. 23, the Jets. To me, this is either has to be Greg Newsome or Elijah Vera Tucker. And I'm going to be going AVT all the way. He doesn't fall past 23. He just doesn't. That's just not going to be the case. Steelers could trade back, though, because I could see them going Eric Stokes, Najee Harris. But I want to see who's on the board because, again, there could be a team wanting to move up to select a guy like Greg Newsome here. And I'm looking. Of course, I can't scroll down. We're going to move my camera now over to this side. So, whoa, crazy shit, right? There still is Jalen Phillips on the board for a team that wants to select a day 1 impact. There also, again, Christian Barmore is on the board for a team like the Bucs that could try to use him, which, again, I see Joe Tryon on the board, Jason Owe. I still see guys who would be a pretty good impact on this roster anyways. Ooh, it's an interesting one because, you got Azeez Ojulari as well for a team that's a 3-4 and needing an outside linebacker. Steelers are not going to be trading at all with the Ravens, that's for sure. So this is an interesting one because I could see Greg Newsome. The Packers could trade up this far for Greg Newsome. I could see that because they desperately need a corner. But again, they signed, I believe, Kevin King to a 1-year deal. They don't need it that desperately, but they still need it desperately. Trevon Merrick's here. Honestly, if I were the Steelers, I could trade back one spot. I could see that because again, there are teams that want to get a guy like Trevon Merrick. We're gonna move up a little bit with the Jags just to secure Trevon Merrick because again, there will be teams calling trying to get him. Again, the Ravens could use somebody. Again, Chuck Clark. Really, you think that's going to stop them? It could give the Steelers an extra, maybe like 5th-round draft pick right in here. Because look, we don't have a 5th-round draft pick. You're moving back one spot and still selecting a dude you want. Why not? Right? It's a 5th-round draft pick. So giving a 5th, they're moving up, and then they are selecting Trevon Merrick out of TCU. And now the Steelers are sitting here, and the Steelers are not going to move back anymore. They're not. They're going to select Najee Harris out of Alabama. It's a guy that again he's the Najee Harris. He's the Le'Veon Bell of the Steelers. I love his comp for Le'Veon Bell. Did my full study on him. He is great. He's gonna be a perfect guy on the Steelers roster, especially since now we got an extra 5th. We know how good we draft linemen down the line, so that could be a center like a Jimmy Morrissey that could start for us. Just big. This is a huge addition. I don't care how good the offensive line is if we don't have a run game at all because Ben's gonna crumble. It's a kind of contradictory because I know that we're going to build offensive line anyways, I just say we need to solidify the run game and then also build the line at the same time because we have no time. Ben has like 1 year left, and this is a necessity. So now the Browns are sitting here, and this is an easy pick for me. This is an easy pick. It's Christian Barmore. You lost Sheldon Richardson. You stick Barmore right in there. He's starting day one. I think that's just the guaranteed pick at this point, but that's just the way it rolls. At number 27, the Ravens are sitting here, and now they need a tackle, right? It's not going to be Leatherwood. I honestly think Dylan Radunes could be perfect. He can honestly play both sides, but I mean, this could be the pick. I'm looking at teams that could use a tackle right here, one, but we're going to go Elijah Moore here. This team could definitely use a tackle. This team, no. So I guess we don't have to really worry about it because Eichenberg could be the guy. But I mean, I'm looking for the Packers. Jamin Davis could be the right pick for them. That's an interesting one. I'm trying to think what I'm going to do for the Packers because that's going to dictate whether I want to select a different player right here. Ooh, that's a fun one. You know what? You guys aren't gonna like this. We're gonna go Dylan Radunes here. I think you just need to solidify the left tackle spot, especially in a team that likes to run. He's been used to having a Trey Lance there for so long. Have him be able to develop that. And then 28, like, dude, this is so tough between Elijah Moore and Greg Newsome. They're both great. They're both great at their position. You solidify Elijah Moore though. You get that instant chemistry. You already brought in some old veterans on the cornerback side. Elijah Moore is going to have that instant chemistry with AJ Brown. You added in some extra picks there. I think that's going to be pretty damn solid. I like the pick quite a bit. And number 29, we got the Packers. And again, I would have possibly went Dylan Radunes at this spot, but that's not the case. I'm looking at the wide receivers, and I'm not vibing with the idea right now. But this is a spot where I'm going to go Greg Newsome. I mean, it's a great pick. Honestly, it's a great pick. Personally, I could have went a linebacker there as well with the Jamin Davis, Nick Bolton, but I think that getting Greg Newsome's value at this spot is unbelievable. And the Bills are sitting here, and I think I might just rock Jalen Phillips anyways, because again, interior defensive line, not going to be pulling that card. Corner could pull that card. I did that last time. We're going to go Jalen Phillips here. Just kind of worth taking a shot on. You guys are going to try to win now. Again, to be fair, I hope that he has a long career that's very healthy. But given the fact that that's not very likely, I just hope that his career is short, sweet, and he gets so many rings that he's able to just retire and be able to kick back and enjoy his life healthily. So all the best for Jalen Phillips. This is a perfect team for him to have as short of a career or as long of a career as he wants. He doesn't have to start day one and make a day one impact either, which is going to be great. But he's definitely somebody who could be the Jerry Hughes replacement. Number 31, we got the Ravens, and this is a fun one. I saw this. I was like, oh, wow. This could be interesting. It's Landon Dickerson. You guys don't have a center. Again, you guys are trading away your offensive line pieces. And now with your left tackle spot filled, I don't know how much you guys are going to like this because you guys are probably like, dude, give us a wide receiver, homie. I think that Landon Dickerson's the right move. Call me out for it. But, I mean, I think Landon Dickerson's a first-round guy. That's my thing. I love Landon Dickerson. He's a first-round guy to me. You can ask Marcus Whitman. He has him in the first round too. But center and left tackle are now vacant on a team that runs heavily. And both these guys had either a quarterback or a running back that ran very heavily. So they're going to be perfect fits for the squad. I love this so much. And then again, we could trade up for a Terrace Marshall if we want to. But at 32, we got the Buccaneers, and we're taking the best guy on the board. Azeez is going to be a backup to Shaq Barrett, who just signed a 5-year contract. Joe Tryon definitely could be JPP replacement worthy. Jason Owe, though, I think that he is up there with weight, right? He's around 260. So I think actually Joe Tryon weighed in at like 262, if I'm not mistaken. So you know what? We're going to delay the end of this video right now because you guys know exactly where I'm going to. Right here. We're going right here. We're going to see what's his name? Joe Tryon. He weighed in at 260. Yeah. So that's good enough for JPP's position, but I want to see what Jason Owe weighed. He weighed pretty much the exact same. So very interesting because I think that either of these guys are supreme talents who are, after watching Joe Tryon, I totally flipped on him. I think Jason Owe has more appeal to NFL teams, though. That's just my genuine feeling, is that when you run like a 4-3 and have some traits that look unbelievable, teams like the Buccaneers are going to be like, dude, why not? Right? Like, why not? So we're going to go with it. Jason Owe to the Buccaneers. over my boy Joe Tryon. So that's the draft, guys. Obviously, some weird picks I've never picked before, but I hope you guys did enjoy it because I think they all made sense. Let me know your comments down below. I know you will. But I'll see you all on the far side. Peace.